Hi viewers. Now before I start this one, I think I have a confession to make. I have become rather obsessed with ball watches, and this is another one here, and this will be the 6th one I'm featuring on this channel. There is something about this brand that just gets to me. I really love them. They ooze quality. The price is amazing for what you get. I don't think any watch brand compares to this for the actual fit and finish in the price range. And because Ball are not a huge brand, they're not that well known among non-watch fans, there isn't a lot of demand for them, so the price on a lot of watches, you can get some really good deals. You would never get the sort of discount you get on Ball watches as you would with similar spec models like Tagger, Longines, even Omega, because Ball, in my opinion, is up there with those brands, and maybe some of their watches are even better. Anyway, let's get started with this review. This is the Ball Trainmaster Streamliner. Lovely packaging. Ball watches come in, really is splendid stuff. Very well constructed box with a beautiful outer box, very solid. And you get the Ball official warranty certificate. So here we have the really beautiful dial of the Trainmaster Streamliner. Now this is much more of a dress style watch as opposed to the other Ball watches I featured on this channel, but it has the same very solid sound, fit and finish, and superior build quality. Let's just mention that beautiful dial to start with. It is a silver finish. It looks a bit more white in the video, but it is actually silvery. I would say a pearl white maybe, with this herringbone texture. And if you look at the center, it's actually more like a radiating star, but I would say more of a herringbone pattern. Very, very smart. And then you've got all the indices on quite a raised applied silver chrome finish, and they are all topped off with the famous tritium tubes, as are the hands. And I love it when Ball put their RR insignia on the end of the second hand, as you can see there. It looks so cool, that does. And you've got the date at the 4 o'clock position. And then on the outside of the dial, you have a very interesting way of showing off the minute track with those silvery balls, almost look like ball bearings, running all along the outside of the dial. Quite unique, that is. I haven't seen that done before, and it looks really, really good. So I'll quickly go over the specs of this watch. So this case has a diameter of 39mm. The lug width is 18mm. The lug to lug is 47mm. And the case height is 11.5mm. So it's a very compact size, really quite an ideal size for a dress watch. And the case has a very high finish. It's all polished around the sides. And what I do like about this case is it's not just one piece around the sapphire glass there. You've got the polished bezel, and then it steps down to make another wider bezel. So you've got 2 bezels there, and that gives a very interesting profile and works well with the domed glass. So it has a very smart, deep profile, and so that extra step, if you like, captures the light really well. Just makes the case look that bit more interesting with all going on. The bracelet is very classy. The fit and finish is superb. It has a brushed finish all over it, and it is a deployment clasp. You've got ball inscribed there, and then just shuts nicely and just pulls apart. And the links are held together with sturdy screw pins there. The bracelet hangs down really well. It's very smooth, silky, buttery feel to it. No rattle, no sharp edges. One of the best bracelets I've felt, actually. Really good. So, an oyster style bracelet that really sits perfectly with this watch. And then we have a screw-in crown with the RR insignia inscribed there. Very clear, precise action, as you'd expect. And the date change, perfect. It's nice to see a screw-in crown on a dress watch. Just gives you that extra bit of security. It does have a water resistance of 50 meters, and we'll just have a look at the case back. And this is one negative part of this watch, in my opinion, is that they've gone for an exhibition case back, which just shows off the ETA movement, which is a little bit bland. The rotor isn't that well decorated. It just has plain old ball inscription there. Haven't even added their RR logo. No colouring, so it is a bit boring, let's say. Nothing wrong with it, just rather dull. And considering Ball are so good at putting together very artistic, interesting, embossed artwork on the back of their watches, it's a shame they didn't do it for this one. Once you've seen one ETA movement, you've seen them all. But it's still very nicely polished around the edge. That stainless steel casing around the glass is really highly polished. Looks very smart, and you've got all the information etched in there. And as well as the front, the back is sapphire glass as well. There's nothing wrong with it. It all looks very smart and well finished, but I just think one of their beautiful train embossings on a solid steel case back would have looked better. Now, as I said, this is powered by the ETA movement, but this is modified by Ball, as I think they do with most of their watches. If it's not their own in-house movement, they would generally use the ETA and modify it. That dial really is spectacular. Very nice to see that in detail. It goes so well with the highly polished case. I'm glad that the bracelet was brushed, because I think that would have been too much if that was polished. So I'll just show you now what that looks like on the wrist. Perfect. Hugs the wrist very well indeed. A lovely size, this watch. 39mm is just ideal for this type of style. And the lugs curve down nicely, so it really looks excellent on the wrist. It really fits well. And now I will attempt to show off the tritium tube lighting in the dark. Now Ball do quite a few different styles under the Trainmaster name, and this particular one, the Streamliner, is not that easy to find. There aren't that many around, but if you do find one, you should be able to get a huge discount off it. There's no reason you should be paying full price for this, especially as demand is low for these. But that makes it all the more appealing because you're getting such a high-end watch for not that much money compared to what this compares to in terms of quality, fit and finish. This particular watch I've seen going for well under $800, which is a very good price for something of this quality. And again, if you don't mind a used watch, look on eBay for Ball watches. You should see some, hopefully you should find some really good examples. And again, because demand isn't as high as some of the more well-known brands, you should get a very good price. I'm not usually a huge fan of dress watches, but this is one of those exceptions. It's got so much going for it. There's so many bits of detail on there that make it a little bit more interesting than your standard boring dress watch. I love that textured dial. I like the way the indices sit really proudly on the dial and are very well polished, catch the light so well. Even the date window being framed looks good, and the minute track on the outside of the dial there with those very unique tiny silver balls. It all just adds up to a very intricate, interesting looking dial. And then you've got that lovely case shape as well. Very smart watch. It's also nice to have a watch that not everyone else will be wearing. Most people will not have seen one of these before, and that, in my opinion, is another positive. So that's a wrap for this one. Hope you enjoyed looking at this beautiful watch from Ball, and I will just end up with some more close-up shots. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.